These are obviously some pretty interesting times in the world. We've got a global pandemic that's rearing its head, and just about every country in the world is actually working together to some large degree without even meaning to, and actually keeping people at home to stop the spread. So, you know, it goes to show we can actually do things that are important and correct if we are really faced with the no alternative. And I just want to say, you know, like, there's a saying that, you know, our grandparents went off to war and fought and did all these things, and all we're being asked to do is stay at home with our modern luxury and conveniences and, you know, internet and YouTube, you know. Boy, can you imagine trying to go through something like this where you're quarantined at home and not able to leave without the internet in the equation, without TV, without some of these other luxuries that we share. It's, you know, there's not been a lot of adversity in the last few generations, I think, especially in the Western world. You know, obviously individual adversity still exists, but we've had nothing like a world war or you know, really significant events worldwide. I mean, the last one that comes to mind just briefly now to me is 9/11. So 2001, 20 years ago. Boy, there's generations of people that didn't really experience that, don't remember it, don't remember the fallout, were very young when it happened. So, you know, I think adversity for all of us is a good thing. It forces us to reset our you know, how we frame the world a little bit. It forces us to really, you know, focus in on what's important and maybe reprioritize a little bit. And you know, let's look for the silver lining in this, that, you know, there's a lot of things that are happening right now that are really good for the world, that are, you know, going to stick with us long past the end of COVID, and they're going to make the world a better place as a result. So, you know, there are going to be a lot of positives that come out of this. We just have to really focus in on those and leverage this as an opportunity to improve and to find positive, because there's tons of positive out there. You know, this is not a time for fear. This is a time for reflection and improvement, self-improvement. This is a time to think, to turn off, you know, all our devices after this video, please, and really just think about what we want to do, what we want to be, the differences we want to make in people's lives, what's important to us, what our passions are, what our values are. You know, there's all sorts of things that are, you know, very luxurious and Western lifestyle distract us from being able to do. And you know, thinking, just taking time to think, is one of those things that, you know, none of us do enough of. You know, we're so cultured and you know, brainwashed almost to believing we have to do things a certain way. And you know, I keep going back to Isaac Newton and, you know, the things he did during the bubonic plague, when there was quarantine all over Europe and he was stuck at home in England. And, you know, he invented calculus because, you know, that's that's what you do on quarantine, is you work with mathematics and invent new mathematics, apparently. But nonetheless, you know, it's a time for some thought and innovation and development, personal reflection and growth. And, you know, there's a whole bunch of opportunity in things like this that you just got to seize. You got to find a way to break out of the, you know, the doldrums and the, you know, borderline depression and all these things that can go along with uncertainty and fear and change, and really embrace it and say, you know what, this is good. This is good for me. This forces me to grow and to think differently, and it forces me to try harder and to push myself. And, you know, all this growth can happen in events like this, and especially in events like this. So, you know, I urge all of you to take this as the opportunity it is, right? And it's the opportunity to reflect and to think and to innovate and to grow. And, you know, you got to take some time and put that time aside to really think about this in order to grow and think about what's important to you.